This is a quick walkthrough showing the integration between SportNgin and OnlineDraft. From the OnlineDraft system, the first step is creating a new group. We'll click on that, then enter a name for the group, and we'll enter a generic name, and then go on to the next step. Then we'll select draft players or people, go on to the next step. And from here we can import our players from a CSV or manually enter, but in this case we'll go to the integrate option under settings. We'll select SportNgin, and then we will authenticate our SportNgin account. This takes you to SportNgin where you would enter your name and password, and then we'll be sent back to OnlineDraft system and the accounts are linked. From here we can get started, and the first thing we need to do is to link the league. So we'll pull the available leagues, select the baseball league, select the spring baseball season, and then finally we'll select the subseason. And with the subseason selected, now we can go on to the next steps. Import players. So here we'll select the registration. So this is the baseball registration mapping back to your survey. We'll pull the available players, and here they're all shown. Any players that have already been rostered are shown below as well. So first we will deselect a few, and we'll just import a few of them. Then we'll go to View and Manage Players. Here are the players that have been imported. Now the roster, or sorry, the persona ID is carried along with them. Let's return to Integrate and import players. And now once we click on the registration and get players, we'll see just the 2 players remaining. And then also the players have already been imported are shown here as well. So we can import the last 2 players. And now we have our all the players from the registration. So the next step here is to add our coaches. So typically people can add coaches via email address and name. We do have the ability to pull in the teams from the selected subseason. So we'll go back to Integrate, select Import Teams. These are the teams that are in the subseason, and we'll select all 4 of these. And now we have our teams. Now these can be transferred over to real people or they can be left behind, but certainly we have the ability now to link persona ID with team ID. So the next step here is to set up the draft. We'll go through this quickly. We're not going to go into all the functionality, but we'll have a real simple 8-pick draft, 4 teams. We just need to set up our draft time. So here I'll do that at some point in the future. Then we'll set up our draft order. So in this case, we'll have 4 participants, and each person will get 2 picks. Here I need to take myself out of it. In this case, I'll have 0 picks. I'm the administrator. So we'll save those changes, and then we'll proceed. There'll be 4 picks in each round, so pretty straightforward to get this going. And then the draft order wizard, we can randomize or set the initial order, and then we'll use a snake draft. It can be snake or repeated. So there our draft order is built quickly, and we're ready to go there. From here, we'll show you just quickly the ranked players. So this is something that's also available to everybody. You can come in here, or any of the partners can come in and rank players, so they have their players ranked before the draft begins, and can have kind of an updated cheat sheet as the draft progresses. So this just shows a little bit of that functionality. And then I'll go behind the scenes and I will pay for this draft, so just mark it paid on the back end. And should reload this here in a second. Okay, let me reload it. So now the draft fee has been paid. There's a whole bunch of other features that we can go into, but we'll just go right to a draft so you can see how this works quickly. But here's our draft board. We have our 4 teams and our picks. Picks can be pre-slotted. This is the live draft page. We will actually start the draft from the live draft page. If somebody is remote, this is where they would make their picks from. All their ranked data and all of the information is here. We'll return to the draft board. This is kind of what can be projected in a large room so that everybody can see. And in this instant, perhaps the first coach called out the first player selected. So we went ahead and selected that player. And then we went on to the next pick. And we'll continue this through all these 8 picks. Now at any point the administrator can pause the draft, and if somebody is remote, that person can make their pick from wherever they are. We actually had somebody do their draft from an airplane on the way from Los Angeles to New York, so pretty flexible. But here we're just going through our draft, and of course if there was more players, the draft board would be adjusted accordingly. Okay, so one more pick here. And our draft is over. We made our teams of 2 people each, 2 players each. And the end result that we get here is on the draft results, where we have essentially pre-built rosters. So you can sort by team A, for example, and there are the 2 players in this case, but it could be 8, it could be 10. Email address is available. You can download these immediately. And of course, for the purpose of rostering, ideally we're able to roster back into SportNgin, but the administrator for the group can easily sort by team, player, download all this data to make the rostering process go quickly. So that's the overview of the integration that we have in place. We're looking forward to get it going. We'll talk to you soon about next steps. Thank you.